Alfa mi ìrorúkọ yín pé dáadáa. Àlàyé tá a ṣe sí fídíò tẹ kọ́mẹ́ǹtì yìí sí, a sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn obìnrin tí wọ́n ní short cycle tó ṣe wípé cycle wọn ó short. In other words, time tí wọ́n bá ń ṣe nǹkan oṣù lọ́wọ́ iná ni wọ́n máa ovulate. Tẹ́ bá wá sọ pé ó against the norm, religious norm. Now, Ọlọ́run tó dá ẹni tó ní short cycle tí ovulation ẹ̀ tó máa overlap menstruation ẹ̀. Òun náà ló dá ẹni tó jẹ́ average cycle tó ti máa ṣe nǹkan oṣù tán kó tó ovulate. So tó bá parí period ẹ̀ ni ó lóyún. Ọlọ́run yẹn náà ló dá ẹni tó ní long cycle tó yẹ pé tóun bá ṣe nǹkan oṣù tán yóò tún dúró fún bí ijọ́ bíi 5-6 kó tó ovulate. Now, Ọlọ́run kan tó dá èèyàn tó ní short cycle tó ní average cycle tó dẹ̀ ní long cycle. Ọlọ́run kan yẹn náà ló create religion tẹ́ ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa rẹ̀. So scientific theory òun làwa gbé kalẹ̀ ní bíbá yìí. And the theory is that anybody tó bá ti ní short cycle, time tó bá ń ṣe period lọ́wọ́ ló máa ovulate. A rí ẹni tó ti wá ọmọ fún odidi 11 years tó ṣe pé ìgbà tó dóko during menstruation ló tó róyún ní, ṣé yóò lọ ju ọmọ yẹn nù ni? Nígbà tá ń ṣe calculation of ovulation, àwọn tán ní short cycle tán ní 21 days 22 or 23 days tó yẹ pé tán máa ti ṣe period long one tó bá tún ti dàn 22 23 oṣù yẹn wọ́n á tún rí period wọn. Àwọn yẹn máa ń rí period lẹ́ẹ̀mejì lóṣù. Those are the people with short cycle. Àwọn tán bá ti ní short cycle bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn time tán bá ń ṣe nǹkan oṣù náà ní fertile window wọn máa open. A ti explain yẹn ní classroom. Now let us go to the classroom so that I will be able to explain. Surrogacy, IVF, gbogbo àwọn nǹkan yẹn ebi science ni. Ọlọ́run tó dẹ́ni tó máa lóyún naturally náà ló dẹ́ni tí ò lè dóyún ní ọ̀ǹtí tó bá ṣe IVF. So fine, tá a bá sọ wípé irú nǹkan bẹ́yìn ò clean tó tẹ́ bá wo fídíò yẹn dáadáa, mo sọ pé even personally mi ò like ẹ̀ because mo believe pé nìyẹn ò clean, but tó bá jẹ́ time tẹ́ni yẹn ovulate nìyẹn, ovulation lasts for 12 hours 12 to 24 hours ni. Tẹ́ni yẹn bá miss out ní ovulation yẹn ó tún di next month ó dẹ̀ máa miss out ni. So ẹni tí ó bá ní short cycle tí ò bá dóko nígbà tó ń ṣe nǹkan oṣù kò lè lóyún tí ó fi wọ menopause. Kò sí bó ṣe fẹ́ ṣe because period ẹ̀ máa overlap ovulation ni. So time tó bá ní kó ń dúró kí period ó ń dá kó ń tó lọ lóyún ó tó máa rí period ẹ̀ di next month ni. Torí time tó ń ovulate ó ti ovulate mọ́ period. There are people like that. So Ọlọ́run ò lè wá sọ wípé ní torí wípé òun ti dá wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. God will be unfair if God now says that such people should wait until the period ends before they have intercourse. Tí nǹkan bá necessary for medical reason based on the body system ara tóbìnrin yẹn, of course. So tó bá wá sọ wípé ó against the norm, àwọn obìnrin tán bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ṣé kán má bímọ kán má lọ́mọ láyé ni. Now a sọ pé time tó bá ti ń mild bóyá bí ọjọ́ kẹta sọ́jọ́ kẹrin tí flow yẹn ò heavy mọ́. Because when you calculate, now let's go to the classroom and do the calculation. Having a short cycle, that is, the cycle is between 21 to 23 days. Let's say this is Miss Mariam. We have done this several times. Ẹ já sọ pé Miss Mariam lélẹ̀. Miss Mariam is running 21-day cycle. Obìnrin tó bá kàyé ọjọ́ tó ṣe nǹkan oṣù ní January sígbà tó rí nǹkan oṣù rẹ̀ lẹ́lẹ́kejì tó bá ti jẹ́ 21 days ẹni tó rí period long one tó tún lọ rí mi long the 22 upon the 23 of that same month, that woman is running a short cycle. Now tí ó bá ti less than 21 days ẹni yẹn ò ní problem. Now àwọn tó ń run average àwọn yẹn 28-29 days average yẹn, àwọn mìíràn run 30 days. To say pé gap between the first period and the second period is 30 days. Tí ó bá ti ju 35 lọ, àwọn yẹn náà ò ní problem. Now, ẹni tó ń run short cycle tó say pé 21 days interval níbẹ̀ nínú ìgbà tó ṣe period January àti ìgbà tó ṣe ní February 21 days ni, that person is running a short cycle length. Now, study says that whichever cycle length tó bá ń run, you minus 14 tó bá fẹ́ mọ the peak day of your ovulation. Now, the cycle length that Miss Mariam is having is 21 days. So whichever cycle length you have, you minus 14. So that will be 21 minus 14, which will give us 7. That means that Miss Mariam ó máa ka 7 from the day of the blood stain. Now, Miss Mariam tó ń run 21 day cycle, ó wá rí period ẹ̀ ní on the 5. On the 5 yẹn ló máa wá ka 7. Day 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ó mì pé on the 11 ni peak day of ovulation for Miss Mariam. But blood stain ẹ já assume pé period yẹn run fún ọjọ́ mẹ́rin. Between 5 and 8, this is the period. Ọjọ́ mẹ́rin tó fi ṣe period lélẹ́yìí. Now, tó bá run period fún ọjọ́ mẹ́rin. Now, the peak day of ovulation falls on the 11th. Bó ṣe fall on the 11th yìí, the ovulation itself, let us assume that the woman is running 5 days blood. Àwọn blood míì ó máa ń run fún ọjọ́ márùn-ún. So between on the 5 àti on the 9, on the menstruation, the blood flow. Now, based on calculation now, she's going to count 7 days from the day of the first blood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the peak day of ovulation falls on the 11th. But ọjọ́ yẹn gangan ni peak day of ovulation rẹ̀. But our fertile window has opened 2 days before or 2 days after. Some studies will tell you that 4 days before and 4 days after. But let us work with minimum now. Let us say 2 days before 11th. That will be on the 10th and on the 9th. Báyìí. Then on the 12th and on the 13th, báyìí. That means that our fertile window has opened on the 8th when our blood is still running. Tó túmọ̀ sí pé ìgbà tí period yẹn tí ò tí ì dá tán, Miss Mariam has ovulated again. Meaning that while she's menstruating, she's still ovulating. So tí fertile window ẹ̀ yìí bá wá overlap, so ó pé ìgbà tí blood yẹn bá dá tán tóun ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá wẹ̀ based on your comment, lòun tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá máa wá lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀. By the time tó bá máa reach peak day yìí, you understand, the egg will only last between 12 to 24 hours. Ó lẹ́yìn fi máa last sínú rẹ̀. So kó tó di wípé ó máa reach 12, 13, 14 yìí, ó tún ti ń lọ sí another cycle because the cycle is short. Èèyàn tó bá ti ní short cycle, that person is likely to be able to ovulate while menstruating. Now, àwọn míì wà blood wọn máa ń run fún ọjọ́ mẹ́fà. It will be more than 5 days fáwọn míì. Tàbí ọjọ́ karùn-ún, ọjọ́ kẹfà, wọ́n sì máa rẹ́jẹ̀. Now, if you are now running short cycle, your blood is now running for 6 days. You start on the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On 10, blood ẹ̀ ṣì ń wá, and you are ovulating on the 11th. Your fertile window has opened láti on the 8th. Ni fertile window ẹ̀ ti open. And your head will drop on the 11th, which is the peak day of ovulation. And we are counting 2 days before and 2 days after. It means that for Miss Mariam to get pregnant, she has to start an gynecology probably the 3rd day when her period starts. Because tí ó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní time yẹn, tó bá lórí ìgbà tó bá dáwọ́ dúró, kóhun tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ gynecology, ó máa miss ovulation for that month. That person will still go and see her period again. Unlike ẹni tó run average ovulation tó jẹ́ pé 28 days lẹ́ni yẹn run tiẹ̀. 28 minus 14 ó jẹ́ 14. That person is going to count 14 days from the first day of blood stain. Irú ẹni yẹn máa parí period ẹ̀ tán yányán, ovulation máa fẹ́ máa fall sí either 4 or 5 days after menstruation. So irú ẹni yẹn lè parí period kó tó di wípé ó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ gynecology for the purpose of conception. So we are not saying we are doing that for the fun of it. Àwọn tó bá fẹ́ lóyún, tẹ́ bá lọ wo comment section, ẹ̀rẹ̀ ni tó lóun ti dúró fẹ́ 11 years. Until ọjọ́ kan tó nǹkan wò pé kó nǹkan ṣe gynecology during period, ó ń dẹ̀ lóyún, ṣé yóò lọ jọmọ yẹn nù? So Ọlọ́run tó dá wọn tán ní short cycle length, women with short cycle length yìí tó dá wọn, òun náà ló dá wọn tán ní average tó jẹ́ 28 days. Òun náà ló dá wọn tán ní long length tó jẹ́ maximum of 35 days. And all of them are women and they are normal. Tí ò bá ti less than 21 days, tí ò dẹ̀ more than 35 days is normal. so it is left for you to now calculate your ovulation day. Then àwọn míì tí mo sọ sínú fídíò yẹn pé wọ́n lè dóko ní time tó bá ń ṣe nǹkan oṣù kan lè lóyún ní àwọn tó máa ń ní irregular menstrual cycle. Àwọn tí menstrual cycle wọn bá wà irregular lápẹ́ tó bá rí lọ́ǹdì 1 lóṣù yìí wọ́n á lọ rí lọ́ǹdì bóyá bíi 28 lóṣù tó ń bọ̀ wọ́n á rí lọ́ǹdì 25 ní next month wọ́n á tó rí lọ́ǹdì 16 ní next month tó ń ṣe ṣégeṣégeṣégeṣége tí ò ní specific date tó ń wá irú àwọn yẹn they cannot calculate their ovulation, they can't predict ìgbà kan ovulate. Ó ṣeé ṣe kó ṣe wípé their ovulation had happened even before the period comes or is happening right there when they were doing their period l'ovulation wọn ṣẹlẹ̀. Bó dẹ̀ ṣe wà irregular yẹn as long as tí ò bá ti less than 21 days tí ò dẹ̀ more than 35 days wọn ní problem. Variant náà máa ń pè àwọn variant cycle tó wà variant tó ń vary tó yẹ pé ẹ lè predict tó dẹ̀ fẹ́ lóyún ẹni tí kò bá ovulate tí ò target ìgbà tó ovulate kò sí bó ṣe fẹ́ lóyún and it happens once in a month. So now ẹni tó bá ní òun fẹ́ kí period ó ń dá òun tó dóko tó dẹ̀ run short cycle ẹni yẹn tí ó fi wọ menopause kò lè lóyún. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni torí time tó ń ṣe nǹkan oṣù lọ́wọ́ yẹn ní gangan ovulation ẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀. So Ọlọ́run tó dá wọn tó yẹ pé their period will overlap their ovulation yẹn ṣé ẹ wá sọ pé God is not fair to them ni? It's not as if they are doing that for the fun of it. Wọ́n ń ṣe because ntí body system wọn gbà nìyẹn.